Hello, family. Welcome to another episode of the Prescription for Better Living podcast, where our goal is to discuss all things health and wellness in a hip and relatable way. I am and shall remain Dr. Hernando Carter, board-certified internal medicine physician. Yes, I am your primary care extraordinaire, and we are happy to be back in the studio for another episode of the Prescription for Better Living podcast. So you know what I'm going to say to you now. If this podcast has blessed you, has taught you something, has entertained you, helped you in some way, we would love your support. Of course, we need you to subscribe to the podcast. We need you to like, comment, and share the good news everywhere you go of our podcast. Also, if you want to support us, you can support us in a number of ways. You can hit us up on the Cash App, $PBL podcast, and we'll take that little old change up out your pocket. You know, you can send it our way. No amount is too large or too small. You can become a member of our Patreon family. Just go to patreon.com/Dr. Hernando Carter. Just $1 per month. That's all. Will support this podcast. Also, if you have an event or a business that you'd like to shout out, you can become a podcast sponsor. Just email us, contact@rxforbetterliving.org, contact@rx4betterliving.org, and we'll get back in contact with you. Speaking of sponsors, shout out to my man Cedric Cooper, Right On Time Physical Therapy. Listen, Cedric's got your physical therapy needs. He's got the customized workout plans just for you to help you get your summer fine on. So holler at my man Cedric Cooper at Right On Time Physical Therapy. He's right over there off Avenue D in Ensley, 2000 Avenue D, Ensley, right there in the Ensley Health Club. Or you can visit him online, rightontimept.com. Let him know that his boy and your boy, Hernando Carter, sent you. Also, shout out to Bespoke Wellness. Bespoke Wellness has concierge primary care needs. We got you covered. Got your weight loss needs covered. And if you're dehydrated, need an energy boost, need an immunity boost, we got your IV fluid treatments covered. Just call 205-396-2820 or email care@bespokewellnessservices.com and we'll take care of you. Shout out to drhernandocarter.com. Listen, all things Dr. Hernando Carter in one place. And you know we got that merch for you. If you're interested in getting us to come out and speak to your organization, to speak at your event, hit us up, drhernandocarter.com. So me and my man Gary are back in the studio, the dynamic duo once again. And we are on episode 45. That's right, episode 45 of the Prescription for Better Living podcast. And this is Heavy Topics Part 4. Heavy Topics, yes, we're still on Heavy Topics Part 4. Now, in Heavy Topics Part 1, remember, we really just kind of laid out what the term obesity means. We defined it. We talked about what the BMI, the body mass index, is. So we really laid that out. We gave you some good resources from Mayo Clinic and Johns Hopkins where you can go and read about this in a real, user-friendly but clinical way, okay, and get me up out of it. You can do your own research there. In Heavy Topics Part 2, we really talked about why it was so important for us to take on this unpopular subject, right? And again, I didn't decide to take this on because I wanted to be offensive or anything like that, be a bully. Oh, no. But I said that this is a health and wellness podcast, and there are so many conditions that are connected to obesity, that I would be doing you as my audience a disservice if we didn't take this topic on just straightforward, head on. Again, it's not about, body shaming. Nope. Because, like I said before, I like them olive oil skinny and I like them Lizzo thick. I love women. So it has nothing to do with body shaming. But it is about us being the healthiest, best version of ourselves that we can be. And I mean, I've been taking some of my own medicine, so to say, Gary. I'm on this right now. I am challenging myself to see how many days in a row I can exercise, like consecutively, days in a row, right? And the reason I'm doing that is because I understand that the more consistently you do something, the more likely it is that it's going to become a habit, okay? And the more likely you are to continue said habit, all right? So I went to the good, because usually I go, okay, I'll do, 3 days, 4 days. But I said, no, it's time to crank it up, right? So I went Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I'm just going to keep going. So I've been taking some of my own medicine because I want to be the best, healthiest version of myself also, right? I mean, nobody wants to listen to an out of shape, overweight doctor. Some of y'all are cold-blooded. You'll tell the doctor, what can you tell me? Look at you. I can't have that happening to me. Not at all. So, and then on last episode, which was part 3, we talked about the genetics of obesity. And I said that it was important to discuss this because a lot of times when we talk about obesity, we talk about it like it is a character flaw, right? There's some sort of internal loss or a lack of something internal as far as discipline or what have you. And what we said is that, I mean, I've known, and I know you have too, plenty of super skinny people that can eat whatever, however, and they never gain weight. And there are a lot of people who have challenges with weight who, believe it or not, really don't eat that much. And we talked about how there were studies done looking at twins who were separated at birth, and they were raised in different households, and those households may have had different lifestyles. One household's lifestyle may have been a lot healthier in terms of diet and activity level than the other, but in a large number of those cases, those twins were both obese. And this is something that Sir William Osler identified back in 1901, that there was a familial genetic component. And then we talked about some of those genes in the last episode that regulate weight, right? So that's where we were. We were kind of laying the foundation, okay, of where we're going next. So next, today, in Heavy Topics Part 4, we're going to start talking about treatment. Oh, yeah, treatment. And we're going to cover treatment for the next couple of episodes because treatment can be a heavy topic for heavy topics, right? And so there's a lot to unpack there, all right? But to begin, why are we talking about treatment of obesity, Hernando? I'm glad you asked. It is because, again, I'm trying to change your mindset about this weight thing. And I want you to view obesity in a clinical lens. Obesity is a medical condition. It is a medical diagnosis. It is assigned a diagnostic code, E66. That means that it is a medical condition. And so when your doctor's billing your insurance and he or she has to list out what diagnoses they've treated you for today, they can put down that obesity diagnosis code. But it's more than just a diagnosis code. It is a real medical condition, just like high blood pressure, just like diabetes, or any other number of medical conditions out there. And so the implication with that means that obesity is something that requires not just treatment, but lifelong treatment. Lifelong treatment. But the good news is, and I hope that you hear the silver lining in what I'm saying, the good news is that there is treatment for obesity, meaning that it can be helped. It can be improved, which means that your health can be improved. So it's a chronic condition and it needs to be treated as such. So what does treatment consist of, Hernando? I'm glad you asked. Broadly speaking, treatment falls into a number of categories, okay? First and foremost, there is lifestyle modification, and we're going to take a deep dive into that today. But then there are also medications that you can use. There are oral medications, so pills you can take by mouth. We'll start talking about that some today, but won't really get too much into the weeds on that today. But on subsequent episodes, we will. So lifestyle modifications, there's pills, which are oral medications. There are injectable medications, and I know y'all know about those. You know, y'all gave Oprah Winfrey a fit, baby. Golly. Talk so bad about Oprah Winfrey, but let me tell you something. They selling a whole lot of this medicine out here. And Gary, Oprah got some money now, okay? She got some money. She got real money. But she ain't buying all this Ozempic herself. It's only so much Ozempic one person, i.e. Oprah Winfrey, can take. So it's a whole lot of y'all out there who buying the medicine. But y'all talking about Oprah. Oh, y'all gave her a fit. But I know y'all know about those injectables, and we're gonna get into that in future episodes. And then also, we are going to get into talking about surgery, weight loss surgery, the surgical procedures. And there are also other less invasive procedures that you can get done to help you lose weight. And then you may ask, well, Hernando, how do I know which one is for me? I'm glad you asked. That's why we're talking about it, because there are a lot of options out there, and it really does take a tailored approach, right? Some people are not good candidates for the pills. Some people are better candidates for the injectables. But then there are other people who it may be recommended that they stay away from the injectables. And then there are some people that maybe the best approach is to go straight to the surgery. And then after the surgery, and after you've recovered and stabilized and your weight has stabilized, then it may be time to make a decision about, do I also now add on some of those weight loss medications to help me maintain my weight? Because you can regain weight after weight loss surgery. People do it all the time. If you go back to trying to eat the way you used to, you can undo the progress that you made, because remember what we said, y'all. This is a genetic, hormonal, chemical condition. So just because you get the weight loss surgery and you lose the weight, that does not change your risk factors, your propensity for obesity. Okay? So it's not a one size fit all, right? You have to have a physician that you trust, and then y'all come up with a tailored approach, which is what I heard they do at Bespoke Wellness Services, just to throw it in there, Gary. That's what I heard. But, and also, don't let me forget this. We have even connected with a specialist, a weight loss surgeon. They call it bariatric surgery, a bariatric surgeon. And he's going to join us on the podcast and talk about weight loss surgery, the procedure that he does, how he decides who he's going to recommend it for, who he thinks is a good candidate or not, all of the benefits of the surgery, the risk, the potential complications. We're going to get a board certified bariatric surgeon to come in and give us all the happenings about weight loss surgery. But the first part we're going to get into is talking about lifestyle modification. That's treatment number one. And it's treatment number one because it applies to every single person who's dealing with weight. Okay? Lifestyle modification is always going to be at the foundation, no matter what other treatment modality you choose. Okay? And I want to highlight something to you, that the operative term is lifestyle. Lifestyle. Lifestyle is a permanent, long-lasting term. Okay? Lifestyle is not a diet. Nope. Because diets, you go on and off, right? And then that's why you get this yo-yo effect, up and down, up and down. You diet, you cut out. I'm gonna cut out all bread. I'm gonna cut out all meat. I'm gonna drink a gallon of water a day, and I ain't gonna eat nothing but plain lettuce. And then you lose 50 pounds. But then when you come off your diet, because a diet like that is not sustainable, you gain weight back. And so you have this yo-yo effect where you lose weight, you gain it. You lose weight, you gain it. You lose weight, you gain it. And that can be very discouraging. Can make you fall off the wagon and frustrate you. That's not the way to do it. Lifestyle. What else is it not? It's not a cleanse. Oh my God. A cleanse. Let me talk. Ooh, Gary. Let me talk to him about these. I'm going to do a cleanse. I'm going to drink this cleansing tea. You're not going to lose 50 pounds doing a cleanse, y'all. I mean, you just ain't going to do it. And again, that's episodic. I mean, how often do you do a cleanse? You can't do it every day. You never get to go anywhere. You just have to stay next to the bathroom. So, it's episodic. Again, up and down, up and down, up and down. We're trying to avoid that. A cleanse is not a fast. Look, y'all. Fast. It's okay to fast. But fast because like the way Jesus fasted, right? Fast to get you some clarity. Fast to get you an answer. Fast to get closer to God. Get your life right. But you know, you do fast, what they call it? The Daniel fast, do the Daniel fast, do the Daniel fast. Oh, you can't eat nothing on the Daniel fast. I ain't never tried it. I just ain't gonna lie to myself like that. The Daniel fast. But y'all will do it. Y'all will do it, you know, for a month. Lose about 15, 20. Then you go celebrate at Outback. And you can get all them 20 back at Outback at the celebration, breaking the fast party. Episodic. You can't, listen, you cannot maintain the weight like you need by doing these things that are not sustainable, is my point. A heavily restrictive diet is not sustainable for most people. Now, Dr. Adrian Carter is a pescatarian, okay? And what a pescatarian is, I had a mentor of mine, Gary, who's a physician, and we were invited to a birthday party for his wife, and they had, you know, chicken there. They had ground beef there. They had ribs, chili lime ribs. Ooh. And Adrian said, "Well, do you have any seafood?" He was like, "Well, no. Why?" She said, "I'm a pescatarian." He said, "What's that?" She said, "You a doctor. You know what pescatarian is." I said, "Baby, that man from Selma. He don't know nothing about no pescatarian." But Adrian is a pescatarian, Dr. Adrian Carter. But see, hers was about making healthier choices, right? So it's still a lifestyle, okay? So for her, it's not a restricted diet because it's what she does every day. Every day she avoids chicken, beef, pork, poultry, and she eats seafood, fish. But that's for her health. Help her keep her blood pressure in check and all that. But again, that's not episodic. That's a lifestyle. So lifestyle is something that you do long term. So these are meant to be more permanent changes. So suffice to say that if you want to be successful in the lifestyle changes, you don't need to do anything radical, nor should you do anything radical. Because your chances of maintaining that change are lower the more radical and aggressive it is. So you got to do what we say, start low and go slow. Lifestyle means a different way of eating. This is how you approach it with your daily diet choices. I mean, think about probably the most unhealthy thing that you eat on a consistent basis. But it's that thing that you just like the most. You got that pictured in your head? Keep eating it. Because you're going to shock the system and upset yourself and give yourself cravings and withdrawals and all that by cutting it out cold turkey. So then think about the next thing under that. Picture that. Don't quit it altogether, but just cut back a little bit. You know, it could be Little Debbie honey buns. I don't know. And you like to eat a Little Debbie honey bun every morning. That's your on-the-go breakfast. And I'm just example. Well, don't do a Little Debbie honey bun every morning. Maybe do it 3 mornings. And then find you a healthier option on the other mornings to sub in. And if you do that consistently and it just becomes a habit, one morning you'll wake up and you'll say, I don't want that sweet Little Debbie honey bun today. I think I'll go with the other thing. And then you remember way back that thing that you really love that's like the worst thing for you to eat. You know what? You'll notice that, I've been cutting back on that too. Like mama and them say, your taste buds will change, right? But what's happening is that our bodies are conditioned to receive sensory stimuli, okay? And we all have something that's our trigger that we love to eat. And when we smell that thing or see that thing, it kicks up our appetite. So you gotta change your taste buds. You have to change that sensory, right? And then if you just go cold turkey on something, you've not really changed your triggers or changed your taste buds at all. You're just depriving yourself of it. And that's how you fall off the wagon. So start with daily choices in terms of changes you can make. Make them small and don't make a whole lot of them all at once. Don't make them too fast. I mean, how slow, Hernando? I don't know. I'm glad you asked. If we're talking about long-term success, I wouldn't change more than one thing a month. And then, because you know why? The more things you change, the more things you cut back on, that's just more you're going to ruminate on. And think about how much you missed the thing. But if you keep your favorite thing, and then you cut back on your second favorite thing, then your third favorite thing, and hopefully y'all don't have that many things that you got to have every day that's that bad for you, right? Instead of quitting sodas altogether and going through caffeine withdrawals, get the smaller can. They make them little 8-ounce can. Is it? Well, how big are them can? The minis, the Sprite mini and the Coke mini. A regular can of soda is about 12 ounces, and so the minis be like 8 ounces or something like that. Just a mini. Go to the mini. Or switch from the regular to the zero. Small, gradual changes. But Lord, don't cut your drinks out and your tater chips out all at once. You're going to fail. Don't do it. Lifestyle changes. The thing about lifestyle changes and daily choices is that it does require planning and preparation, okay? Because if you don't plan, we're all busy. You get crunched for time. And when you get crunched for time, you got to go for what's convenient and fast and right there. And what's convenient and fast and right there 9 times out of 10 is not very good for you. Dr. Adrienne Carter is helping me with this. She's making once a week egg white bites. And she's chopping up, like some peppers and onions, and mixing up the egg whites and then baking them in the oven, like in a little muffin pan. And then I can just reach in the fridge and just pop out a couple of egg white bites in the morning, warm them up, 20, 30 seconds in the microwave, out the door. Okay. But I'm not, because I do that, I'm not having to get like a breakfast bar that's got a lot of sugar in it and stuff like that. You can boil eggs. Eat your couple boiled eggs in the morning for breakfast. Many things you can do, but you have to, it's going to take prep, being prepared, meal prep. You don't have to prep every meal. Again, start small, right? Just do one meal. Even if, let's say, most of us slip up at lunch. So prep your lunch. They got prep services that'll you can buy the meal already made, and you can do it locally, or you can get it sent to you, and you put them in the refrigerator for the week, and all you got to do is remember to just pull them out. But it's lifestyle. So get out, take diet out of your mind, take fasting out of your mind as it relates for weight loss. Take cleanses out of your mind. Now, and we'll get into intermittent fasting because, yes, intermittent fasting works. I did it for a while. But again, is it sustainable? I'm talking about changes that you can make that can last you for the rest of your life. I don't think Dr. Adrienne Carter is going to ever eat another rib again in her life because it's been over 10 years since she had a rib. And I just, if she made it 10 years without a rib, I just don't think she's going back to it. Lifestyle change. Now, God ain't told me to give up ribs. And that's going to have to talk to me about that, Gary. My Sunday morning bacon. That Jimmy Dean pan sausage. God he gonna have to teleport, like not even the voice of God. Like I need to see the essence of God, like in front of me in the long white robe with the long white beard, looking like, who was that? Gandalf? Gary. And he gonna have to tell me, Hernando, get off the swine. And I'll do it then. But until that time, Gary, I'm going to eat this pork. Another thing he going to have to come down to, lemon pepper wings. God is good to me, and he would not take lemon pepper wings. He won't do it. He loves me. He prepares a table before me in the presence of my enemy, and his lemon pepper wings on my table. But lifestyle means we have to have a change in attitude surrounding food. Meaning that, how I was just talking about them lemon pepper wings. Ooh, and you remember when I talked about the heavenly chicken place? Food is meant to be used in this order: for energy, and then for enjoyment, not the other way around. And if you look at it like that, look at it like gas in your gas tank for your car. When you are filling up your gas tank, what happens? That nozzle clicks, click. You wouldn't hear it click and just keep squeezing. Well, I'm gonna get a little bit more in there. And then the gas pouring out, it's running out the side of your car, running on your tire, getting on your shoes, but you just gonna keep squeezing and overfilling that gas tank. It's running over. You wouldn't do that if you were refueling your car. Well, your body has a click mechanism too. It's called the satiety center in your brain. And your brain sends signals to your stomach and tell your stomach that it's full. You just override it and ignore it. So we got to change the way we look. It's for energy And your body will tell you when it's got enough. And then it's centered around bringing family together, enjoyment, and all that. So these are lifestyle modifications that we hadn't even gotten into exercise yet. We're going to venture into that. And we didn't even get to touch on start talking about the pills. But listen, I think that it was very important to spend some time really setting the tone for what treatment looks like. And it requires a lifetime of commitment. Okay? This is not something that you can rush. You can't get in a hurry. And it can't be episodic. Start and stop, start and stop. It's got to be something that you are intentional about. You have to be methodical about this. And you got to be in it for the long haul. And when you're in something for the long haul, you have starts and stops, right? You have times where you make a lot of progress. And then you have times where it seems like you ain't making no progress at all. You're just plateauing. But that's when your breakthrough's coming. Because if you stay consistent, even through the plateau, you'll reach another level and you'll start to lose more weight. You'll start to be more successful. What the preacher say? In good times and bad, in sickness and in health. That's just talking about commitment, hanging in there. You can't get frustrated. And there's hope because we got treatments out here that can help you. And we'll get into that a little bit more on the next episode. So this has been another episode of the Prescription for Better Living podcast. As always, I am your boy, Dr. Hernando Carter, board certified internal medicine physician. Yes, your primary care extraordinaire. Saying whatever you do, wherever you go, stand on the tallest mountaintop you can and share the good news to the top of your lungs. Hallelujah. Dr. Carter is here. Until next time, Dr. Carter saying, I love you. Peace out.